I'm sure everyone who's living in a cold climate can relate to this kind of winter slumpy feeling you get around January, February, where the sun hasn't really been out that much for a long time and you just feel kind of tired all the time. So today I'm going to share with you my 7 strategies that I use to still feel energized during this time of the year, to still enjoy this time of the year and go through it with more ease. First thing that has been the biggest game changer for me is to accept the fact that I am in a winter slump and to give up all my resistance towards the fact that I maybe don't feel as energized, and to use it as an opportunity to retreat a little bit, to go inward, to focus more on activities like meditation, listening to music, journaling, watching movies, playing the guitar, and yeah, just more like chill vibe things. Of course, we all still gotta go to work, get our things done, go shopping, exercise, move. But I allow myself to say no to as many opportunities as I can and to just use as much time as I feel like just being with myself and spending also a lot of time in solitude. I'm not that outgoing in the winter time, but I'm more retreating inwards. The second tip that definitely helps me a lot is just my diet. So over the last 4 to 5 years, I have cleared out my diet of processed foods and of things that are very taxing on my body, that require a lot of energy from my body to get digested. And yeah, I focus a lot on light, simple, easy to digest meals. Obviously, fruit is my staple. And usually in the afternoon, I either have a salad or a simple high carb cooked meal with steamed veggies, no processed foods, no salt, no oil, very light foods. I still eat abundantly, and that's also an important part when it comes to feeling more energized. Make sure you're eating enough. So I always make sure I get in all my calories, because that can also be a reason for kind of feeling a bit slumpy, is because we're running low on glucose and fructose and carbs and fuel. So yeah, I always make sure I'm fueled up with the foods that I love. Definitely also the variety when it comes to fruit is a bit lower now in the winter time, but I still think we can make the best out of it by focusing on what we've got, being grateful for what we've got. The third one is something you're probably already tired of hearing me say, but if you want to feel more energized, if you want to feel better, you gotta sleep more. So see if you can maybe plan in more sleep, either in the morning or in the evening time, so that the amount of time you spend in bed is a bit more. I find myself sleeping more in the winter time, whereas in the summertime, I don't need as much sleep, something between 8 to 9.5 hours, whereas in the winter time, it's more like 9 to 11 hours sometimes, very rarely when the sun hasn't really been out for very long, because the thing is, in the winter time when there's not a lot of sun, we don't produce as much melatonin, which reduces the quality of our sleep. And if the quality of the sleep goes down, the quantity of the sleep needs to go up a little, so that we still restore our body during the night. So yeah, don't be afraid to sleep more, and also see how can you improve the quality of your sleep. So something that helped me tremendously is, as I already mentioned in my previous video of my daily habits, to start my morning super slow. We might think that being on your phone in bed in the morning might be a slow morning, but I've found for myself that this really stresses me out, going on social media first thing in the morning, because there are so many impulses on my brain. So nowadays I start my morning by drinking some water, doing a little bit of relaxing yin yoga in bed. Sometimes I'll listen to a visualization or a meditation in the morning, and just starting it super gentle. And also whenever I can without an alarm clock. So I make sure if I need to go somewhere in the morning that I go to bed early enough so that I can wake up in the morning without an alarm clock. That has been the huge, biggest game changer for me. And if I really, really need an alarm clock because I need to get up early, then I use a very gentle alarm. And recently I have been kind of forced to use one of these old alarm clocks. And when I was waking up with it, I realized, wow, like for years and years, I used that kind of alarm clock to wake up. And the sound of it is literally like in the hospital, you know, when you are at that heart monitor. I realized that there's a very similar sound that is just very disturbing. So if you hear that first thing in the morning, I found for myself that it kind of makes me feel more slumpy during the day because I get like dragged out of bed almost. Whereas if I start really gentle and right in the morning, I already work on lowering that cortisol, because in the morning right after waking up the cortisol is the highest. It just feels so good, and I have a much easier time feeling more energized throughout the day. And then number 4 is something that's kind of related to sleep, and that is sunshine. So whenever the sun is out, right now it's actually out, I make sure that I go out either on my balcony or I, go out. These days I have discovered kind of inline skating for me. So whenever the ground is dry, I'm going for an inline skating ride, or I'm going for a run or a bike ride, or I use that time to go to the supermarket to get in some sunlight into my eyes. Of course, when I'm at work, that might not always be possible. Or right now I'm filming this YouTube video, so I'm not able, but when I'm done filming, I'm gonna get out and get in some sunshine. And especially helpful is it to get in sunlight or daylight right after waking up. Obviously in the winter time the sun goes up quite late, so for example today I got up at 6:30 or something, and the sun isn't up at that time, so it's not possible to get in daylight. But whenever you can, make sure to get in some daylight first thing in the morning. To really signalize your body, okay, it's daytime, and that'll again help with the melatonin production in the evening. Number 5 is also something I kind of alluded before already, and that is movement. Even if you feel tired, even if you feel sluggish, I found for myself, it's just that one moment where I need to put on my running shoes, or I need to put on my shoes and my jacket and just go out. And once I'm out, once I'm in movement, the energy kind of starts circulating inside my body again, and I feel more vitalized, more refreshed, more good. And then after I've gotten in some movement, I come back home, and if I can, I relax and I chill out, and it's just so much more enjoyable, and I don't feel this tiredness anymore, but I feel like movement in whatever form you enjoy just brings so much vitality back into our body and so much energy, and we're feeling more energized again and less tired. The 6th step is to do things we actually enjoy doing and to stop doing the things we don't enjoy doing. I mean, this might sound pretty obvious, but for the longest of time I used to indulge in activities that I didn't really enjoy, that didn't really bring any value to me, or that didn't really feel that good. Because again, that is what leads me also to tip number 1, that resistance, like resisting and fighting what is the most exhausting thing we can do. Because all our muscles have to tighten up when we resist and when we are against what is right now. So when we surrender and when we start doing the things we truly enjoy and that are in alignment with what feels good, then everything becomes more effortless. We're no longer trying to be someone that we're not, but we're more authentic to ourselves, and we're more in harmony. And energy again starts circulating in our body, and we feel more flow, we feel more vitality, and we feel more energy. And then the last tip is something very practical that we can all do, and that is to supplement vitamin B12 and vitamin D3. Now, what I definitely recommended and what I did is to first get a blood test done and see if you're low in any of those. And if you are low, then, get yourself a good vitamin D3 supplement and a vitamin B12 supplement. Unless you're living in a sunny place and you go out regularly, then you don't have to worry about D3. But if you're living in a kind of like more darker area where there's not as much sunshine in the winter time, then I haven't used a vitamin D3 supplement in the longest of time, but I recently ordered myself one because I know, okay, this February and March, I'm not gonna go somewhere where it's sunny. Last year I went to the Canary Islands for a couple of weeks during the winter time, and also in November I went to Turkey. But now I know, okay, I'm gonna stay here, so I can already feel a little bit, okay, I'm really low on D3 right now because I haven't really gotten in that much sunshine. Of course, I always make sure I go out when the sun is out. But yeah, still, it is nothing comparable to the summer where the sun is out almost every day and a lot more intensity. And then also vitamin B12 deficiency can lead to low energy, feeling lethargic, and especially, of course, if you're eating a plant-based vegan diet like I do, then it is especially important to supplement B12. It is a nutrient that we're not able to derive from any food. Like, for example, vitamin C is contained in oranges and in so many other fruits, and zinc is contained in berries and passion fruit and pears, and so many different nutrients are in so many different foods. So if we eat a variety of different fruits and vegetables, we can be sure that we're getting nutrients from those foods. But when it comes to B12, that is just something that is not naturally contained. I mean, originally it was, but with the way farming changed throughout the years, it is not possible, or it is at least very, very hard to get the vitamin B12 from the fruit. Okay, I'm gonna end this video now and go out to the sunshine. If you want to learn all the benefits of a raw vegan lifestyle, then definitely also make sure to watch this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.